And how we doing, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. Well, we had a lot of fun yesterday in opening day. Not a very fun Friday night here in Game 2. Not just for the Red Sox, but myself as well. I'm not feeling all that great right now. I've come down with some kind of an ear infection or something. I'm not doing well today, so we're gonna go through this one pretty quick because I'm not feeling all that hot, to be completely honest with you. But a couple interesting takeaways for this one here tonight. The main focus is Raffy Devers. Everyone's dialing in on that. That was a hot topic, coming into spring training, obviously, after signing Alex Bregman. We all know the deal there. Once you sign Bregman and once you realize they weren't playing him at second base, and you're like, okay, looks like Bregman's going to be the third baseman. Well, we had here today from Alex Cora, basically, pretty much confirming it, saying here, is Boston going to be keeping him ready for potential fill-in duties at third base? Alex Cora said no. Raffy is the DH. So, that was already a pretty hot talking point already. And but now that you're having him struggle right off the bat, it's only a couple of games, but he's really looking off out there. I think a lot of people, they're going to dial in on the fact that, he's unhappy because he's the DH. There's something mentally going on with him. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't think it's really all that, to be honest. I think really he was dealing with a shoulder thing going into spring training and didn't get as many at-bats as he would have liked. He was working on his swing throughout spring training. I think he's just working through a couple of things mechanically right now. You just watch him out there. The timing doesn't really look right. Looks like he's kind of flying open. I saw a couple of the swings, right, kind of stepping out a little too wide, the shoulder just flying open. I don't know. Just it doesn't really look all that right, but I think he's going to end up being fine. You go back to 2021, he got off to a slow start then and ended up having a great season. So I'm not worried about him, to be honest, but I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, he's just unhappy. No, I think it's really just he's still working through some things. Tanner Houck. Tanner Houck, for the most part, was looking pretty good. I think he was left in a little too long tonight, to be honest. I probably would have taken him out after 5, or at least taken him out after the first batter in the 6th inning there. I think you started to see the hard contact start to grow as the game went on. Especially later on, especially in the 5th inning there. 6th inning, he was giving up some hard contact. I think he was left in a little too long. Cora, he likes to keep his guys in there, and his pitch count wasn't too high at that point. But in the end, it is what it is. I think for the most part, he looked fine. He didn't look like Tanner Houck, in some of the great starts that he had last year, but this is a guy that's going to go out there. For the most part, he's going to limit the hard contact. He's going to be tough on the batters. And you saw that for the most part here tonight. You would have liked to have seen maybe a bit more on the whiffs, a bit more on the strikeouts. But, again, it's game 2. Not too worried about it. If I would have made a different call, I probably would have gone to the bullpen. But, hey, you know what? You still got 2 more games here in Texas, so I can understand you're not trying to burn through your bullpen. You want Houck to go out there and give you a bit more. Just unfortunate. You could just tell he was running out of gas there in the 6th inning. Christian Campbell starting to look a little better. You're starting to see, you feel like that the nerves are melting off a little bit. You're seeing him kind of swinging here a bit more freely. It just seemed a little bit more confident at the plate here. Picked up a base hit. Got on base early in the game. But Christian Campbell, I kind of like what I was saying yesterday. This spring, he got off to a bit of a slow start, but you started to see him a bit more comfortable as time went on. And I think the same thing's happening here. You got Tony Maserati, who just likes to do the clickbait kind of stuff. And he's saying here, oh, he doesn't look ready. He doesn't look like a big leaguer, whatever he was saying. It's just nonsense, just garbage, He's got on base in both of the games to start off the year. Picked up a couple of hits here tonight. Christian Campbell. Pretty excited about what he can do. And the red jerseys, I'm going to be honest with you. It was a little weird seeing them wearing the red jerseys on the road. I kind of had to rub my eyes a couple of times thinking, am I seeing this correctly? Well, we don't got the blue jerseys anymore, so I'm guessing that's because of the City Connect
jerseys that are going to be coming in. They're probably going to be wearing those a ton this year at home. So I wonder how often they're going to wear the red jerseys. Is it going to be every Friday night if they're on the road? I guess that's probably going to be the play. But hey, it is what it is. But everyone, we're going to dive into the post game here. If you can, just hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 4K by the All-Star break. But I do have to go over tonight's sponsor. That's True Classic. I'm going to let the guys over at Foul Territory take over on that one.
If you're looking for premium clothes at an affordable price, you got to check out True Classic. AJ, you're rocking the True Classic shirt right now.
Oh, believe it. Look at this thing. Look at it. Soft. It fits perfect, even with these guns. Not too tight like Scott likes it. Little bit of room to move in there, right? Look, you can wear it under a suit. You can wear it out to dinner with some nice jeans. You can wear it to the gym if that's what your game is. Whatever it takes, this thing fits great, feels great. Great shirt.
The long sleeve Henny for these cold, kind of warm spring days. Perfect.
Yep. Build the perfect outfit in 5 minutes or less. Everything goes great together. Free shipping on all orders. It's designed to bring out your best features with the perfect fit. So, FT fam, whether you're bundling up for the cold or getting ready for spring, level up your style with clothes that actually fit right. Go to our exclusive link, trueclassic.com/foul to save. That's trueclassic.com/FOUL. Shop now and elevate your wardrobe today. FT fam, get after it.
All right, go check it out. True Classic. I've been wearing their clothes for a long time. They really do have great stuff. Go check it out. Use the code FOUL. You get a good deal on some good clothes. But let's break down Tanner Houck. First things first. Like I was saying in the intro, right? Tanner Houck, he's kind of working through some things this spring. And you felt like you were sort of still seeing that here a little bit tonight. Wasn't as crisp as we saw him last year on multiple occasions, but I just think he's still building up that endurance a little bit. I still think he's building up the just the pitch count because you saw that he was fading, right? Especially in the sixth inning. If it were me, if I'm playing MVP baseball 2005, I'm probably going to the bullpen in the sixth inning, try and get a clean inning out of one of the relievers there. But just going to the breakdown here, just sharing the screen. But Tanner Houck mostly went with the sinker here tonight. He threw it 47% of the time, 42 sinkers overall. You saw that he was working in that sweeper. That ended up being a very effective pitch for him last year. You just would have liked to have seen more swing and misses. It is what it is. Worked in some splitters. But yeah, he was really just working on a 3-pitch mix. Again, he was kind of working, like I said, he's working on some things this spring. We've seen him throw more pitches in the past, so it felt like he was kind of sticking to 3 that he was most comfortable with here. But hey, it is what it is. Tanner, I think just really in the end, he just ran out of gas. But 5 2/3, 4 earned on the night for him. And then Weiser, Bernardino, they came in, gave you a couple of clean innings there. So that's a good sign. Bullpen, hey, bullpen's looking pretty good to start off the year. If we were to find a positive here, the bullpen has looked pretty clean here through the first 2 games. But taking a look here at the offense for tonight, hey, give it up for Willie Abreu, man. This guy, I'm going to make a bit of a prediction. I love Willie Abreu. If at some point down the road he becomes a free agent, right? He can go to any team he wants. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy ended up going to the Texas Rangers because this guy just mashes in Texas. Once again, getting a couple more hits here tonight. Man, the guy is just very good in Texas. I got to pull up the exact slash line, but it's over a 1,700 OPS overall. Pretty nasty. But, it was pretty, for the most part, kind of just one of those games where, it was sort of like yesterday. You're trying to just find something, right? You just felt like the top of the order. You saw Duran do a bit tonight here. He got on base, had a good hard hit ball earlier in the game. He stole second at one point. But, you would have liked to see, again, a bit more out of the top of the order. Rafael Devers, obviously, he's the big talking point right now. He's 0 for 8 to start off the year with 7 strikeouts. Again, I do think he is going to figure it out. I think he's just off with his timing. I think he's just off a bit mechanically right now. I think he's going to be okay. But, going to the second inning, Christian Campbell had the squibbler there to third. He ended up reaching base. Again,
Tony Maserati. I don't know what we're talking about, my friend. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to 985 Sports, their Twitter page. They posted a clip of him saying, "Oh, he's not ready for the big leagues." Blah blah blah. It's like, come on, enough with the clickbait. But yeah, third inning, right? You started to see, the top of the order, like Duran, like I said, had a laser base hit there. He ended up getting to second. Bregman unable to come through. He's been a little cold too. He did collect his first Red Sox hit here tonight, so that's nice to see. But he ended up popping out, and then you had Raffy striking out. So, top of the order. Just need to do a little bit more. Tristan Casas. Casas has gotten squeezed a little bit. He's such a big guy, so he like Aaron Judge, right? Aaron Judge, he's had multiple problems in the past where, he gets some bad calls. It's just because these guys are big, So Casas, maybe you see a little bit more. I felt like he was a bit more aggressive here tonight. I think he'll end up pushing through that here and hopefully by the end of this series. But the bottom of the third, right? That's when Jonah Heim, man, this guy was a freaking monster here tonight. A couple of home runs off of Tanner Houck, so he sees him pretty well. He opened up the scoring 1-0 there. You had the big rally in the fourth inning, right? You would have liked to have seen them come away with a bit more there. I felt a little deflated in the fourth inning. Kind of was hoping you could have got another run out of that, but in the end, you only got one. Story, Campbell, back-to-back base hits. Abreu, again, like I mentioned, staying hot in Texas, had the base hit to make it 1-1. But you would have liked to have seen a bit more there. I felt like that rally had a lot more potential. Another interesting part, Adolis Garcia got brushed back by Tanner Houck in the bottom of the fourth inning there. I always wonder about that. I always keep those little moments in my head. I wonder if maybe I don't think you will, but always leave open the possibility of maybe the Rangers, they brush back one of the Red Sox guys tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see on that. But he got brushed back pretty good. And then the fifth inning, Jonah Heim, like I said, another homer. But the sixth inning, right? Another Raffy strikeout, 4 on the night. Bregman, that's when he collected his first hit. But this is where Tanner Houck just completely imploded. Langford, Jock Peterson had the base hits. But Seti, he came up big. Had the nice throw out at third, getting Langford there. Pretty close play. But I guess when it came to Bruce Bochy, I guess he ran out of time to be able to challenge it. I guess you have to challenge the play within 15 seconds. So I figured he did. I'm not sure what happened there. But, hey, Ceddanne Rafaela, this guy, there's a reason they want him out in center field. He's very good. But, again, I would have gone to the bullpen probably if I was running it. That's just me. You had Jake Berger with the double. Josh Young with the base hit. In the end, made it 4-1, and that was pretty much it. Seventh inning, that was where you had another opportunity. And I mentioned, just a second ago, they had a big opportunity there in the fourth, I think, to maybe get a little bit more across the board. But the seventh inning, you had the bases loaded. Connor Wong had the walk. Abreu Duran had the base hits. But then Raffy with the strikeout. Bregman, I actually thought maybe something could have happened on that. Nice play by Young. I mean, give credit. The guy made a nice play, and he got Bregman out at first. So it is what it is, right? I've, many times in the past, watching Red Sox games, I feel like when you have an opportunity like that, especially late in game, and you come up short, I feel like that just kind of, it lets the air out of the room. You know what I mean? It just felt like, all right, this is probably game over here. And in the end, that's what it led to. And hey, this Rangers team, they're going to be one of the best teams in the American League this year. All the credit to them, man. In the end, the Red Sox, I felt like they, just couldn't come up with what they needed to here tonight. Raffy, yeah, he'll work through it. I'm not really worried about Raffy in the end. It's just going to take some time. All right, again, slow start in 2021. I think, what was he, 0 for 13 to start off that year and ended up having a great year. So, in the end, it's it's how you finish a lot of the times. It's not how you start. So, I think it'll be okay. But what do you guys got going on here in the chat? Moose 1534. Hello, my friend. How you doing? Caden Lichford. I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know. I've been dealing with this ear infection for the past 4 days now. It is not going away. I actually was dealing with it yesterday. I didn't even mention that. I was just too excited about opening day. But yeah, it's hitting me pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I might have to go to a doctor tomorrow, to be honest with you. But
Jackson, you're saying here at least the defense will be better as long as we're healthy. Yeah, hey, defense making some good plays. They're doing pretty well on the bases here tonight. That was another thing that stuck out to me. So, in the end, it's just not going to work out for you all the time. It is what it is. But taking a look at the game for tomorrow, let's get a bit of a preview here. You got Walker Buehler making his Red Sox debut, going up against Tyler Mahle. I feel like it's been forever since you've seen Mahle. I remember, he was one of the bigger trade targets just a few years ago. And here he is, pitching for the Rangers. But taking a look here, you got some guys that have some experience against Walker Buehler. Jock Peterson, look out for him, man. He's got 10 ABs against him, hitting 300 with a 964 on the OPS. Corey Seager, he had a base hit here tonight. Hey, look out for Corey Seager, man. MVP candidate. He's hit very well against Buehler in his career. You've got a few guys here that have seen him pretty well, so we'll have to see how that goes for tomorrow. But when it comes to Mahle, not a whole lot of guys. I mean, you do have guys that have you got more on the Rangers side that are used to Buehler. But Abreu, he's only had a couple of ABs. He's got a hit against him. Bregman, he's got 9 ABs against Mahle. Has a career 777 OPS. Trevor Story, he's got a lot of ABs against him. He has not seen him well in his career, only hitting 133 against him in his career, over 15 ABs. So, I don't know. I'm seeing these numbers here with Buehler, and you got some good OPSs against him, but he looked good this spring. I'm excited to see what he can do tomorrow. Everything this spring I felt like looked crisp. The velo was looking good. The life was looking good on his pitches. Buehler, very excited to see him in his Red Sox debut for tomorrow. But everyone, I'm going to wrap it up there. I wanted to keep it pretty short and sweet. Again, I'm not feeling all that great. But yeah, just wanted to kind of power through it here tonight. What do we got? Schuler, Stasanos, love seeing the grit of this team. Working accounts and defense has improved greatly. I mean, yeah, you can definitely see it. You can definitely see it, right? Seti, the big throw to get Langford out at third. But just seeing them making just the routine play. I felt like last year there were times where, sorry to call out Raffy, but that was something that you saw last year a lot with him, just like routine plays where, bouncing off your glove or a throw into the dirt, ends up, first baseman's not able to come up with it. It's looked more crisp to start off, the first couple of games here. You do like to see that. And again, I mentioned earlier, I like the aggressiveness on the base paths. Core has always been that way, but he's got guys at his disposal in this lineup that can make some things happen on the bases. You're seeing Story, being active on the base paths here in the first couple of games. So, it is what it is. You're going to lose some games, unfortunately. They're not going to go 162-0. I know some people probably had that in their predictions for this year, but oh well. You can't win them all. But everybody, I'm going to wrap it up there. I'm going to get out of here. Again, I'm not feeling all that great. But if I'm feeling okay tomorrow, we'll be back for tomorrow night's post game. I'm hoping I'm starting to feel a little better. I feel like maybe I'm trending that way. We'll see. But my head was killing me today. My ear was killing me today. Just ear infections are no joke. I don't remember the last time I had one. I think I had one when I was a kid. Maybe when I was like 7 or 8 years old. I don't even know. But yeah, these things are no bueno. I don't like these, man. But everybody, I'm out of here. Go enjoy the rest of your Friday. Go enjoy your Saturday tomorrow. And I'll talk to you next time.